Yeah, so we are learning now database, right? The practical part of it. So we're going to use SQL, and it's a structured query language. So to begin with, I'm going to show you how we're going to use Access, Microsoft Access. I'm going to show you how to do it the ICT way, and then now I'm going to convert now the very principle to the computer science SQL format. So I'm going to click on Start, and I'm going to type Access. I'm opening Microsoft Access. I'll click on Blank Database. The goal is not for you to follow what I'm doing on your machine here. The goal is for you to see. Okay, so I'll open my folder on my desktop, and then I'm going to save it inside this folder. Perfect. And I'm going to put the file name, maybe my SQL. It must say tax 2. Tax 2. Okay, so I'm going to save it like that, and I'm going to create it. So now when you open your SQL, your database, this is how you're going to see it. Defaultly, you're seeing a table already called table 1. So table 1 is already existing there. In order to create a table in database, there are two things you need to do. First, you need to design the table, and then after now, when you design the table now, you need now to input data. So you first of all design your table, and you design your table on the tab called the design view. See? And then now you put in data on your table on the data sheet view. So we're just going to do it now. Straightforward. We're going to design our table. When you're designing the table, this is what you need to take into consideration. You need to talk about the data types. When you're designing your table, you put the data types and the field name. You put the data type and the field name. Perfect. So when you're designing your table, this is all what you do. You put the data types and the field name. So I want us to maybe rush and design this table in the notes. I think, this table here, I want us to design this table. So if this is how this table has to be like, yeah, so this is just, I want us to reproduce this table now in Microsoft Access. Now in ICT, this is how this thing is done at first. When you open it, you're going to see this thing like this. So I want to split my screen. So let me split the screen. Perfect. You are not seeing that, but don't worry, I'll give you the video at the end, and you're going to see so well. You see. Now, I want us to reproduce this table now in the ICT way. When you open your Access, Microsoft Access, you already have table 1. So we will not create a new table. We'll just redesign this table and label it. The name of the table is called Customer. So I'll click on View. This is View. If I click on View down, I'll see the Design View. You see, right? I'll click on Design View now. They ask me, do I want to rename my table? Yes. They ask me, what is the table name? I'll say the name of the table is Customers. And I'll click on OK. So this is the design view of the table. On this view now, I am allowed to design my table. So I want to design this table. And we said when designing the table, you require the data types and the field name. Perfect. So I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put the field. The first field there is called ID, right? This is the first field, right? ID, and it is. We need to know that the data type is number. You see, right? The kind of data that goes under ID is number. So I'll click on this drop down menu and I'll select number. And the next field is what? Name. I just want to obey the syntax name. And the name now, I'm saying okay. The name can be long text or short text depending on you. The next field name is what? Age. So I think it's number, you see, right? And the next one is address. And the address there is, I believe it's text. You can put long or short text. And the last field there is salary. Salary. This is the reason why many people die, because they'll give a salary. And the salary is number, right? You can put currency depending on what birth. we're seeing a number there, so we're going to put number. I have designed my table, field names and data types. I want us to do something dynamic here. For example, let us add another field called phone number. You see, right? Phone number, even though it's not here now. I will now click here. For the phone number, I can put number, right? But now what? The Cameroon phone number, I believe it has 9 characters, right? 9. So now I can now come to this field size. Field size here. Field size here. Let me extend this stuff. So I can come to this field size. After I've clicked phone here, I'll come to the field size and I'm going to cancel this. I can put there 9. Perfect. Yes, 9 bytes. Perfect. 9. See? So then, if I do it for this data type called number, it's not going to go. Okay. Let us try it with maybe let us put here gender, right? Perfect. Let us put here gender. I want the gender to be either male or female, right? To be either male or female. So if it's on text now, the field size now, I can put just 1. I can put 1. So the person is allowed to enter just MOF and it actually works. So if I now finish now, I'll click here on save to save the design view. The design view now has been saved. I want now to put in data now. I want to populate my table. I'll click on view and I'll click on data sheet view. I now see that the fields now have been established. ID name, age, address, salary. Is it ID name, age, address, salary? See, right? The field name has been included. Now I want us to just put any kind of ID there. Maybe 1, the first person's name. We're not going to follow that. John. Maybe the age we're going to put maybe 12. The address maybe we're going to put San Joe. And then now the salary, people's salary is always 700 in a day. 7,000 now is a wish. Phone number, maybe I'm just going to put my phone number when I was in US. It was 07 something. See? So and now gender, right? Remember that for the gender, what was the field size that I'll put there? 1. If I try to type female, see, I'm typing, only 1 letter comes out. If I try to type male, nothing comes out because we have specialized the field size to be 1. So that box can take only 1 field. You see, right? Field size. Perfect. So male. And then now, maybe we're going to put the next person here to maybe 2. And then I'm going to put Mary. John is always with Mary, right? And Mary is always smaller. And Mary is always maybe living in maybe California.
Wonderful.
When I was in California, things were very straight up, you see. Yes. That story was very much about something like this. See. Mary did not have a phone because she always uses John's phone. So Mary's the female. You see, right? Okay, now let us keep it simple. You see, right? Now this is a table that has been designed, right? Perfect. I want to rush now and create the other table because there's something that is it comes in ICT, but it rarely comes in computer science. Because one of the mocks this year for the database part, they said I hope all of you can draw ER diagrams. You people can draw you people can draw it. Let me show you ER diagrams. You people can draw ER diagram. These things, you people can draw these things. It comes in this computer I'm talking about. Every paper 3 you have ER diagrams there. Every paper 3 where they'll give you maybe 3 tables to include. You're gonna draw 3 tables with your SQL. After they say that now, represent now your tables now on ER diagrams. So you draw the ER diagrams on your answer booklet. The same is with programming. There are some questions that you are going to answer with your pen on the paper, and there's part of it that you're going to include it in the computer. So you need to know. All of you have to know how to do this diagrams. All paper 3s have ER diagrams there. So this is entity relationship diagram. We know that entities are in this rectangle, the attributes are in this oval, and then we know that the relationship is inside a diamond shape, you see. And I think we spoke about that stuff so well. This is the relationship. So you need to know how to come out with empty relationships. But now, so this one cannot be represented in a computer. What is represented in a computer is relationship diagram. So relationship is different from entity relationship. So I'll rapidly create another table here. So to create another table, I'll click on create and I'll go to tables. And then I'll click on view, click on design view. I believe our other table is called others. Perfect. So this our other table here was called others, I think so. I'm sure we're going to pass that stuff. Perfect. Our other table was called others, right? So that table is called others. So I'm going to put the first field name there is OID. See, right? It's OID, right?
Yes, sir.
OID. And now it is number. Let us put auto number and then you actually see how it works. And then our next one is date. And then there's a data type here called what? Date. I'll put here date. I'll come down here. I'll see date and time. I'll put it. The next one is cost underscore ID. I think it's number. And then I'm going to put my amount. And I believe the amount there has to be number. See. Now, what about registration? Maybe they can say candidate number, for example. Candidate ID. Candidate ID always contains letters and numbers, right? If there's a field that contains letters and numbers, you put text. You put text. Text can receive numbers. Perfect. Yes, both for ICT and computer. Yes, so I've designed my table so I can just click on view and I'll go to data sheet view. They'll ask me, do you want to save your design view? Yes, I want to save it. Now, I am not on with liberty now to now include data in my table. Our data type here was auto number. So I will not need to type in a number there. It will come automatically. If I come here and then I click on date, I can select any date. The ID comes automatically. If I come to the next field, I can click on calendar because the date is there. I can change the date because the data type was calendar, so a calendar is automatically given to you. I can select any date. It comes auto number. You see, right? And then now the customer ID maybe we're going to put maybe you see 2, maybe we're going to put 4, something simple. We're going to put it. We're going to put maybe this kind of amount. Something like this. Now, if the candidate ID was maybe MK09C, so this kind of candidate numbers now can support text, can support both letters and perfect. So if that is the candidate number, I'll save. Now, let us now do a relationship for this table. One of the mock games is here that they should do a relationship for computer science. So I'll click on database tools. Are you seeing database tools? And you'll see relationships, right? I'll click on relationships. These are the two tables that we have created, right? I'll double click on the first one, customers, it will add here. And I'll double click on others, is going to add there. And I'm going to close. I'll do it one more time. I'll close this stuff. No, I don't want to save it. I'll click on database tools, click on relationships. I can just highlight all and I'll click on add, the two add. Or I can double click on each of them, they will add. So I've added the tables that I want to work on the relationship with. I can now drag it and keep it in a different place. IC students, take note. How do I now link on these two tables? Are you seeing this key? This key up here showing that the primary key, right? And then this other key, the key up here showing that this is the primary key. I think that the best relationship on this table will be the ID here and the customer ID, right? That's the relationship, right? So this customer ID is the foreign key, because the foreign key is a field that exists on one table as a primary key and exists on another table not as the primary key. Perfect. So I'm going to link now the ID now with the customer ID here. To do it, I will right click. Oh, let me just double click. So if I want to link ID here with customer ID here, I will double click on ID. When I double click on ID now, I will click on create new. You see, what is the left table name? Customers. What is the right table name? Orders. You see, right? What is the field I want to join from the customers? ID. I want to link it to which one? Cause ID. I'll click on OK and I'll click on create. That is that is now the relationship that has been created. This is a one-to-one relationship. It's very, very important. See, right? Perfect. So this suffices for creating relationship. This one is not empty relationship. This one is normal relationship. If they say ER diagrams, you will start drawing those diagrams now on your paper. The oval, that is stuff and that. Yeah. So voila, ICT. Okay, now, yes. For ICT, if they tell you to create a query, what is a query? A query is a command to a database table to request fields, right? Okay, let us see our table. Okay, see, I want us to add information on this table. Okay, let us just keep it simple. Now, if they ask you that, write a query to select people whose age is less than 10 or less than or equal to 10. Go through your database and then pick out the people that their age is less than or equal to 10. It's a query. How am I going to do that? I'll click on create. I'll click on query design, and then now I will now include my tables, my two tables. I'll add them and I'll close. These are my two tables. Now they say go to your table, write a query that will select people that their age is less than or equals to 10. So I know that I'm working, the age is on which table? Customers tables, right? So on table, this is table. I'll come and select customer table. Which field am I selecting there? Age. Criteria less than what? 10. When I finish now, I'll run it. Okay, now it's not going well, so I'll click back on the design view here. Less than or equal to 10. I'll run. Why is it showing me empty? Okay, just hold on. But now it's not really proper, right? What is the meaning of 9? What is the meaning of 9? So instead of just putting H here, I can decide that I'll display the name of that person too. Before I'll come here and then I'll select now the customer table again. And now I want now to select that particular age. That age now. So I'll cancel this condition from here. And then now I'll say less than 10. Let me see. Less than 10. So that the age now will be able to. So I will say now the Boris age now is 9. So now this is the query that has been generated from the database. So that is a query. Now look up here. It is possible for me to just transform this query now to SQL. If you know how to use just this, see, look where I'm clicking down here. This is the design view of the SQL format. This is the way that ICT students are supposed to learn how to generate queries. From this table down here, you see, right? But now, if a computer student understands just how to generate queries from this easy one, in the GCE, you can still do your own like this, right? But now they'll require you to put your SQL code. How now can you transform? How can you get the SQL code now for this query? How can you get it? Okay, so this is my view here. I using SQL. Look up. I using SQL here. If I click it now, this is the SQL code. So it automatically generates the SQL code. This is the code now this code now is the code that computer students are to do that simple thing. So select from customer name, customer.h from, you see, so that is the SQL code to do that same thing. You see, right? Perfect. But this one is even complex. You see, right? It's complex. Do you not understand that code? No, I'll show you the right way. You see, right? When you go and hang in the GC, you know what you can do. So you can actually do it the graphical way, and then now you generate the SQL code. See, perfect. That's how it actually works. So that is that. Now I want us now to learn how to now create these tables now. Create tables now the computer science way. The computer science modus operandi to do this stuff. Now, I'll advise you that, why is this guy making noise here? I'll advise you that whatever you do in the GCE, right, you save it. We have done our SQL. Have we saved our code? No. So, this is our query. I'll just click on save. Yes, I'll save it as query 1. So, it has added here. Now, I can now be at peace now to go to the next start. And then I can right click here to close. Right click here to close. Yes. Right click here to close. Let us now create tables the computer science way. To create tables the computer science way, for ICT you click on create and then go to table. But for computer science you don't go but to table. You click on create and instead go but to query design. To create a table, you don't go but to create table, you go but to create query design. I'll click on query design now. Automatically, these places will be empty. There will be no tables here because you have created no tables. These tables show the tables that we have already created. You see, right? So I'll close this thing. When I'll close that show table dialog box, I can now see SQL. You see, right? When I click on SQL now, this is now where I am up to now type my SQL code. Anything that I type now will now be affected. For example, to create a table, I'll use this command called create table. To create a table, I'll use this command called create table. What is the name of the table? I want to create a table called student. I'll end my statement with a semicolon, and now after that I will run it. When I run it now, you'll see that I create a table called what? Student. Simple. So simple. If I open the table, they'll say it cannot open because there's no field inside. See, right? So now I need to learn how to add field. So I want us to delete this table. To delete this table, the ICT way, I'll just right click on the table here and I'll go to delete. But the computer science way, I will write a command to delete my table. I will say drop table. The name of the table is what? Student. Semicolon. Run it. It has deleted my table called student. It's no more there. See, right? Perfect. So I want us now to follow the exercises in the notes and do it step by step. No, I want to save that stuff. Perfect.